Okay. Now I will share. Go to your page. Okay, so we're starting our class. We're hoping that most students will come in, but it's very funny with, so we have this beautiful page, right? Love it. But we have a little mistake. We have 1, 2, 3. We should have 1, 2, 3, and as opposed to 1, 3, 2. This could have been just your mistake, but sometimes Google Sites is very, very, can you see my page? Can you see my website?
Yes.
Okay. So do you see that lecture recording is before teaching plan?
Yeah.
All right. So lecture recordings is here and teaching plan is here. Now, if I want to make teaching plan before lecture recordings, I pick it up like this and hope like crazy it will go.
Oh.
You see?
Yeah, yeah.
And now teaching plan will be before lecture recordings. Sometimes this trick works, but sometimes it is very stubborn. So you need to try it several times in different ways. You need to beat the system. And now, if I want to save it, I go publish. Now click on publish again. And now the teaching plan will stay before lecture recordings. So that's interesting. I'll just put this one down. So all you have to do is to go to, in your site, to the editing.
Yeah.
You go to edit, which means you click this button here, that pencil. And you're in the editing, and now you go to pages and you can do the shift. If I want the link, I go to this, right? I go to this little pin or whatever it is, this sign. I copy link. And now I can just go to paste it, Control V, and we're on our page. I wonder how I can be in the chat at the same time as I'm sharing the screen. I don't think I can be, can I? So what I might do, stop share, give everyone link to our courses website. Okay. So Neri, hello everyone, whoever has joined us now. So Neri asked me a few days ago about the link to the class we had last week. Okay. So if you want to find links to classes we had before, you go to our website, which has a link here. So again, this is our link, right? So you go to our website. And you look for whatever interests you on our menu, right? Can you see the, I trust that you can, oh, just wait, I have to share a screen now. Again. So if you don't see the screen, I want you to see, just please let me know. So I hope we all are seeing my website, the website I created for our unit, for our course. And you can see the menu everywhere. And if you see the lecture recordings, then they are here. So if you find Andrew's last week's class, you go to Andrew's update and it will take you there. Oh, you can look at those. We can see Nira here.
You got them to send it where?
All right. If you want to see the class, the part of last week's that I was teaching, you go to Ania Explains Assessment. And here it is. We will finish with him and then we will just go to here. So in Australia and everywhere in the world, and I think that in Cambodia now, because of COVID, increasingly people are getting adjusted and accustomed to having a website for their course, right? So it has all the recordings, it has all the materials, it has everything that's relevant for your success. So we have two websites. We have this one, which I'm just showing you, and we have Andrew's Moodle. If you go to Moodle link, you go to his page. And now you know what to do. I never go here, so I don't know what to do here, but you will know. Okay. So if you want to see what the resources I created for you here, then you just go to weeks 2 and 6, from 2 to 6, and all these little links here are about the things you should could use to help you with assignment 1. So for example, oh, I don't know how to create a website. Can I have guidance? Well, I do not want to teach you how to create a website. I'll tell you why. You have the recordings here. You go to weeks 2 to 6. You just click not on assessment 1, but I think on weeks 2 to 6. I just clicked on the main one. I think if you clicked on assignment 1 would be the same link. Assessment 1 has the same page. And here you have podcasts, videos to teach you how to create websites, right? So creating a homepage. So you click here. And there's a whole video teaching you how to create your own website. So you don't need me to spend 2 hours today explaining to you how to create the website, because you've got all these materials on this website here. So you just click on assignment 1, assessment 1, and you've got, these are all links. These bars are links. You click on them. If you know enough, if you are lost and you want to create the website and you hate my videos or you can't find it, the way to do it is you go to YouTube. This is how I do it. You go to YouTube, you say, how to create a Google Sites website. And you find a lot of tutorials there that will help you. So you have two options if you want to learn how to create a website. One is to go to our homepage, click on assessment 1, and start going through tutorials, right? So they will teach you how to create the website. If you don't want to do this, you go to to YouTube, you type how to create a Google website, or if you don't like Google, create, you see I even misspelled it, how to create, what do you like, some WordPress website? Okay, for beginners, yeah, And you have tutorials here. So if you don't like Google Sites, you can have WordPress. So everything is online. So now what you are learning is that when you go to schools and when you work with your students, you do not have to show them everything. What you need to teach them is literacy skills or computer literacy skills, or we can name it ICT skills. And you say to them, if you want to find out how many people live in Poland or Australia, the students will say, Google, Google. Okay. So if you want to find out how to make a cake, or how to build a house, or how to create your own website, where do you go? And they will say Google. And that's not too bad, because Google, if you go to Google and you type how to create a Google site tutorial, okay, it takes you also to some videos, right? We have here some YouTube videos. But if you want things to be demonstrated to you, not described by text, but demonstrated, the best way is to go to YouTube and look for information there. And it has everything. YouTube has a lot of things. How to bake a chocolate cake. Look at that. Pick your cake and bake it. I'll pick none, because I'll be fat if I ate them. So, right. So this is your literacy skill lesson for today.
Hello, hello, teacher Ania.
Yeah.
I have created a Google site as well. May I show our friends a little bit and you as well?
Yeah. So exciting. And how did you know how to do it?
Well, I know how to use it quite long ago, and I have my my own websites for my workspace as well, for my workplace as well. So let me just share screen. Wait, what do we do? Could you please allow me to share screen?
I don't know how to do it. Everyone, I think multiple participants can, yeah.
I cannot share, maybe because I'm not a host or something.
Sorry, teacher Penny, you can send your link address in the chat and let doctor open it.
Oh, no, thank you. I know how to do it now. Thank you.
You okay? Good.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see my entire screen now?
Yes, we are. We are seeing it.
Okay. Do you see the Google site where I'm showing you? Okay. So here's a few sites, but I will select this one to show everyone that I have created.
So can you tell me your name? How do we call you?
My name is Penny.
Penny.
Yeah.
Ami.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the site. Do you see what I'm seeing now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the sites that I have created. Yeah, so there's the logo, there's a separate section where you can go to each part of the Google site for more information about the website. Yes.
Well, that's fabulous.
Yes.
So, but that's your website. It's not the website for the stories. It's just your website to show us that you actually know how to do it.
Yeah, I will show you another one which I created for Ania. So let me just go back.
Are you with someone in the group or are you by yourself?
I am with my group members. Wait, let me just show you my member. Oh. Oh, sorry.
That's great.
Yeah, so here is the Google Sites for my research proposal. And I will create another sections for your session as well, teacher. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
This is your group?
Yeah, this is my group. This is me and this is my classmates. Yeah, and what I do is I drop down the link for my classmate as well. So if they want to do some work, they can click here. So let me preview it. Yeah. So they can click here and then go to Google Docs and start working together on a research proposal.
So that's for a different subject, right? Because with us, we're doing stories. That's very good. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I would only want to add that I'm hoping that the other members from your group also learned with you how to create a website, right? So that we progress together.
Yes, of course. I did teach them how to use a little bit as well.
Yeah. So that's very good. We've got two websites. This is really, really good. So just to summarize the story about website, Neri, maybe I will say it and maybe you can confirm with me and with students that we understand it. On our page, if we click on assignment 1, we have tutorials how to create a website. Students, not here, but when they go home, create their own websites using these tutorials, or not the cake, don't make a cake. Or they type on YouTube how to create Google sites or whatever website and use those tutorials to create a website, right? So I do not teach you. You learn from video, and this way you learn to be independent. And when you go to school, you do the same with your students. You show them how to find information, where to find it, and then give them a task so they can create their website. Otherwise, you always spoon feed them. Right now, they need to learn ICT skills. So one skill is to have a website, and the other skill is how to find information, how to create a website, and learning from tutorials, learning from websites, not from the teacher, learning from YouTube. It's very important because you can learn other skills. You can learn how to program. You can learn how to, I don't know, lots of skills people teach on YouTube. And this way you become accustomed that there is a lot of information on the internet and you can learn from people. Okay, so that's, Yuri, that's comprehensible?
Yeah, but may I request you to teach them how to get fact, truth information, reliable information, because there are a lot of information, but which one should be reliable and should they trust?
Well, at this very moment, we do not have to worry about whether they should get vaccinated or whether they should have children by the age of 12, right? We're not talking about pregnancy. We're not talking about vaccination. We're talking about ICT skills. And they have to know where to find information and how to work with videos to teach you. So this class today is not about how to create a website, because this you can learn from podcast. And so I want to know from the students, is everybody able to go to our course website and find assessment 1? Is everybody able to do this? Click here and then watch these videos in group when you are away, when you are at home. Yeah? Easy?
Can you answer her
Oh,
question?
I already did that, teacher, and watched some video in that template.
So is everybody else able to learn how to create the website from these videos?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, try. Have you ever learned anything from YouTube? Have you ever learned like how to do things from YouTube?
Of course.
Anyone else?
Yes.
So if you are a girl, I don't know about the guys, I have never been a man, but I am a girl. I just bought a vacuum cleaner. How do I know how to work a new vacuum cleaner? I go to YouTube. I'll share it with you. So you go to YouTube and you know the name of your vacuum cleaner. So how to use Dyson Airwrap, or for example. Oh, look at that. And you find a video how to use hair dryer that you paid $900 for. This is how much it costs. All right. So there's a lot of information on ICT, I mean, on YouTube. And the idea here today is for you to go to weeks 2-6, click on assessment task and click on these things to learn how to create a website. So by next week, I hope you will all groups will have a website. It's very easy to make it. And it's very satisfying, right? It's very satisfying to have your website. I've got 1,000 of my websites, like lots, for different things. Just like Penny was showing us, right? He has for his professional training, for teaching, also for his other subjects where he collaborates with other students. So he's got lots of things on his website. So having a website is a great idea. And this is why we are learning to create a website, so that the skill is with you and then you can take it to schools. Never ever at school you should be standing and telling students how to create the website. They need to work with videos and learn from other people's videos to learn independence. All right. So we're happy with that so far? I would like to finish that subject of websites, and I would like to be sure that by next week everybody will try. Is everybody committing that by next week we will have some websites?
Yes, teacher.
Anyone else?
We will try, teacher. We will try to create the acceptable one, or we can say a good one.
Right, no profanities, right? Acceptable website is a really good one. Non-acceptable websites, no. All right. So what last week we were discussing also is the issue where to find the stories. What stories? So where's our friend's website? Let me find it. Oh, I've got other things here now. All right. So did anyone think about it? Where to find a story? How to start? Where will we find the story? So we have to, for assignment 1, you are being challenged to create a story that is worth telling. Maybe worth telling to Cambodians, or maybe worth telling to people overseas. What about if you created a story that you would be so happy about, you would post on Facebook and ask on Facebook that people write comments? Now, obviously, there will be Cambodians, so they will say, oh, that's wonderful, that's lovely, and you will get 250 likes. I know Cambodian culture, but it would be good to ask them for, comments and what they think. So did you think about it? How to start? Where do we find stories? Did you have any ideas for stories?
I'm not really sure what kinds of story should we make it, or should we include in this template, teacher?
Anyone else wants to comment?
I think creating a new story is not that easy. So I guess we can adopt from a lot of Khmer stories. We have a lot of Khmer stories which hasn't been translated into English. So what if we translate, pick one of our Khmer story and translate it into English and put up on our website? Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem here. Any other sources for telling stories?
And yeah, I think it should be a new story, something that is new. If they choose my story, or what can I say, the fairy tale story or whatever story in Khmer that has been written already, it doesn't sound updated.
Creative, right? We're losing creativity. We're losing creativity, and we want to be creative. Otherwise, we repeat. So I think I agree with you, Neri. I think, yeah. Was it Fanny who suggested that? What do you think?
Yeah, it is me. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. It's okay.
So I think that what we want to do with the new curriculum here, I think translation skills are very important skills, but I think that what Neri is saying, and that the modern curricula want us to be creative. So now we have to be creative. And what we're doing today, before we become creative, we have to be critical. And critical, one of the aspects of being critical is to wonder how the heck are we going to find a story to tell? Right? So we're doing a lot of thinking now. And these are activities that you can use with your students. It's called brainstorming. Now, brainstorming just by asking questions. So you can see what I'm doing with you. I am on the one hand making you suffer, challenging you, but I'm also telling you how this activity translates into schools when you are a teacher in school, right? So I am challenging you now. Okay, so we're starting to think critically. How are we going to find a story that is worth telling? So that's the beginning of the process of brainstorming. Storm, like the rain. So that's the beginning. And I will teach you the second step of brainstorming, because just asking students questions is not good enough. Because maybe Fanny will have an idea, but Cheng Sarah may not, right? So brainstorming can begin with the question, but then it has to have a second step. But I will still ask you some questions. So any other students may have ideas about where to find the story?
Can I so brainstorming start with the question. So I have a question, where can we get the story? So I don't know if we can just, interview someone about their past, someone that we think they have gone through a lot, and I think it can be interesting. So we can just use real life events, and I don't know, maybe we can change some of that, putting some other events into it to make it more dramatic.
Right.
Is
So
that
that's
okay if we use?
That sounds really interesting, because people in Australia sometimes travel to Cambodia, but they know nothing really about the people themselves and about their stories. I think that sounds interesting. What else? Is any more comments either from Navy or someone else on this one? Whom can we interview? I think that the idea of starting with an interview is a good idea. So in a sense, Naivi, what you're saying is, let's get a story from people, right? Let's get a story from people.
Yes.
I think that's great. What kinds of people? Maybe some other groups will borrow from you this idea. So what groups could we interview? Where can we find a story?
I'm not sure. I think we can just start looking around, maybe our family members, someone who live in our community, going through, for example, abuses, some other dramatic events that affect their life, and how can they, like overcame those kind of things. So it can be a very good story, I guess, but I'm not sure whether that can, they will be willing to share with us. But I think, yeah, just think about people around us, I guess.
I think any other views? I just have to write down what I want to say because I forgot. But anyone else wants to? Does anyone else want to contribute to that discussion about interviews? No? Are we quiet? Are we so a little bit reflective now? Another thing, I think, Navy, when you think that people have stories, and now you're thinking, whom can I approach for a story? You may not actually approach, maybe the story you will create will not come from the first person you talk to. Maybe you will talk to a few people, and the story will be a combination of all these interviews, or it will be the third party you interviewed, not the first, right? You just
Right.
don't know. You just don't know.
Right.
But I think what I like about interviews is that when I now look for an interview, if I was you, right? And if I looked for interview, it changes me. So it has a transformative impact. That's, you know, how we have the transformative education. So you're learning theory now. It transforms me because I'm no longer seeing, actually now I'm with my friends from Canberra. I'm staying in their house now. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I get a story from them. And now I'm not looking at them as my friends. I'm looking at them as stories, not stories that I can tell, but as people with history. I'm not sure whether I'm expressing it well, but I mean, now I look at them with more gratitude, with more appreciation for the histories that they have gone through and maybe can share. So the whole idea of approaching someone for a story is life-changing for you as an interviewer, because now you look at them not as a person who passes you by, or your friend or stranger. Now you're looking at them as with amazement. They had a life, and maybe there was so much in that life that maybe we can elicit something really worth telling from these people. I think it changes us emotionally, and I think that's important. I like that idea. Did anyone else like that idea? Imagine if you did that in school. Ask your students to create the story and maybe go back to their houses and communities and try to think whom they could interview for a story, eh? Right, so we're creating throughout this teaching of this course, because we will be teachers next year, I presume, we're making links between what we're doing today and how we could approach it in school. Neri, your thoughts? Do you want to add something?
Nothing, but the question is, when will they submit their websites to us for the first version?
First assignment?
Yeah, for the assignment.
Well, we are running late, right? So if we go to our teaching plan, so that's what you do. You go to the website, you go to your teaching plan, and it should be week 6. Are we now in week 6? What week are we in? What week is it now?
So can we say now it's week number 1? Is that okay?
All right, so let's take 4 weeks for it, okay? Just 4 weeks, because we still have to do number 2 and number 3. You don't need 6 weeks to produce one story, do you? Neri, do the students need 6 weeks to produce one text?
I think so. Let me ask them, because you know it's very hard for them to find a story, because they are thinking what kind of story.
Well, they can do it in 4 weeks.
So everyone, is that okay for you? 4 weeks from now? Please say yes or no.
Yes, teacher.
Good then.
All right, we will see how we go, okay? So let's aim for 4 weeks from now, but we will see how we go, okay? But definitely, so let's assume, Neri, how about 5 weeks from now? Okay, that's the compromise. You happy with 5?
So it should be next year in January. Is that okay? January next year, 2022.
Yeah, but what date?
Can it be on 2nd? I think 2nd of January. Is that okay?
I'm happy with it. Is it 5 weeks from now?
No, it should be on 10, on 9, I think. On
9th of January. Okay, 9th of January. Okay. So, you know, so we will type here. We'll go type. Here we will say due 9th of January, right? And we will publish it, so it is saved now. Okay.
Is that good, everyone? Next year, in January, on the 9th? Panet? Does it sound good to you? Next year. Sinet?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Okay, very good then. And Chita, what do you think?
Yeah, teacher, I'm trying to calculate the weeks, and I think, yeah, on the 9th, I think it's good enough, teacher, 5 weeks.
Good.
Yeah, plenty of time. All right. So what I did, I was looking for some stories. And look what I found. Have you seen this one, this page, Cambodianness? Coffee Talks. I'll put the link in the chat so that we can have it. Have you ever seen that page?
Can you share the screen so we can see it together?
No, it's in the chat.
Yeah, I see in the chat, but do you want to share it as everyone can see it?
I thought I was sharing.
No. You're not sharing. You were sharing the website, but you were not sharing the screen. Yeah. Okay.
What are you saying now?
Yes. Cambodia that website.
Yeah. So I click, but look at that. So here's this. So it's got. Okay, can everybody else open on the, can you open, guys, this page on your computer? On your own computers. Can everyone open that page on your own computer?
Yes, doctor. I mean.
Oh, good. So what we will do now, what we are learning now is how to create a story, okay? We will learn now how to create a story. And that will give us some ideas of what to do when we create our own story. So we've got this page here. Can anyone sort of tell me something about what they see? See, rather than me, this is a discussion. I will talk to you what I'm doing so that you learn for your classroom. Rather than me telling you what I see and showing to you what's important and whatever, it's just not good. The idea is for us to think together what we see and what we think so that we can make decisions ourselves, what's relevant, what's not relevant. So it's learning through reflection, right? Learning through reflection, evaluation, analysis, not memorizing and spitting out and not remembering next week what the heck we did. So can we just chat a little bit about this page? And can anyone just sort of talk about what they see and what they think? So that's a website, right? Can you guys turn on your microphones so that you can just chat spontaneously? Can you please turn on your microphone? That would really help.
Yes.
Oh, good. Now we can talk. Okay, so that's a website, right? Yeah.
Yes, I see.
Okay, so I will open chat just in case some of you are typing. All right, so I will make it larger for myself. All right, so it's a website. What else? What else can we say? We know it's a website because it has a link. Right? It has a link. Everybody can find it in the entire world. What else can we say? What can we say about this website that can give us ideas how to create our own? Remember how we have, I can't remember who it was, but that person showed us the story 1, story 2, right? We had story 1, story 2. So we need to fill those pages with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we now need to think what with. Right, so we have story 1 and we have nothing there. We have nothing under home, right? Can you see this website of a student?
Yes, it's mine.
Good. So now we have this thing and we're thinking how to fill it with what with. So any ideas can we get from this design? We don't have to accept that, but what ideas can we come up with? Keep on your microphone on, students. We can just talk spontaneously. Yeah, because otherwise, yeah, so what can we learn? So at this very moment, our website is empty. What can we learn for ourselves? Yeah, keep on talking. Yes, what was it? Whoever raised the hand, just talk.
I'm sorry, doctor. I think earlier it's one of our classmates, Rotana, but may I share first? From the website right now, what I can see is first it's about the story, even though it's the same picture, but it's different stories. It can be from different topics, can be from the current, even like nowadays it's about COVID-19, or maybe it can be about some like the opinion of the writer, him or herself, I guess. And even on the top I can see that it has many different type of topics like politics, economics, so it can be a lot of story that we can pick from, like the idea or the topic that we can start our own story.
So what do we have here? We have the main page, right? Then if we click on, I like this one, so I click. So the picture signals to us that something is, yeah, that something is there, right? So you yourselves can think, oh my God, maybe I will borrow a picture, you know, I put a picture somewhere here, I don't know where, and then maybe may not be the same picture, maybe different pictures, right? I think having the same picture, it indicates that this is what? Why do they have the same picture for every story? Why do you think? You see, these are the reflections. This is analysis of text. What we're doing now is analyzing text, and text means anything that is in front of us. We're analyzing. That was a good remark that all the pictures are the same. The question is why?
it should be the same people who talking about, just talk about different story or different things.
Yeah, that's good thinking. Yeah, it's the same. I never thought about it. Yeah, it's this. You see how good it is? Because when we talk, we can actually come up with better observations. Yeah, it could be the same people meeting all the time and talking on different issues. That's very good. So that's good. Now you can think for yourselves, if I have this page, will I have story 1, story 2, story 3, the same pictures, or what will I have on the home page? Will I have, so now we have options. We can have a picture, we can have the same pictures, up to you, right? So if it is always me talking, will I always have the same picture? I mean, these are the sort of choices you will make. So the option is, if you were always the reporter, would you keep the same picture, or would you always change the picture, right? If you change the picture, what would it indicate? Why would someone have different pictures?
We might find some on Google, and we can use that if it's should for our story.
Yeah, but you could have different pictures because maybe you want to indicate what your story is about, not necessarily who is talking, right? So here they have the same picture because it indicates who is talking, right? So someone said same picture means the same people talking. Different pictures, if you use different pictures, may be to refer to the story you want to share, right? So, okay, so they have a, what is that story I liked? I lost it now somewhere. Just gonna find, yeah. So you click on it and it takes you to the whole story. But look at that, we have an interview, chat, maybe not interview, but a chat, right? So what's the structure of this little thing? We have what? What do we see? Can we name the elements of this story? So we have the
It
picture.
should be the title.
Yeah. What do we have?
Title.
Yeah. This is the title. This one. Is this the title?
Not really sure with that. Yeah.
Did you say yes?
I may say yes.
Okay. So what's this one? Coffee Talks above. This one above. It says Coffee Talks. What's that?
I think
Alright.
it's the category.
It's a what?
Category. Is that the
Yeah.
correct one?
What do we call it? When there is many stories underneath a particular title, what's this that category has a name? Do you know?
Topic.
A topic would be COVID-19, being generous, not selfish. I think that's the topic. What's Coffee Talks is not topic.
Is that a theme?
I think they call it series. Right? It's a series of interviews, right? And the title of the series is, I'm typing it in the chat to make sure that we all understand. the title of the series is Coffee Tables. The title of the interview or chat series is Coffee Tables, or Coffee Talks, sorry, it's Coffee Tables, that's funny. It's Coffee Talks. Right, so the title of the chat series is Coffee Talks, but the title of the story is COVID-19, Be Generous, right? So every chat will have Coffee Talks written above, but will have a different title. Well, that's interesting, right? You may think, oh my God, does it matter? It's not the story. What we are learning is the genre of communication, how people organize information. It's really important to learn how people indicate to you things for you to understand what is what, not for you as future teachers, but for you as a reader, for us as readers. So they say, oh, this is Coffee Talks. Let's see if I click on Coffee Talks, what will happen? Nothing happened. It should have taken me to the page before, actually. If I organized that page, and if Penny organized this page, he probably would have made Coffee Talks go back to this original page. So that's a series. And that these are the titles. All right, so we've got the title, we've got the series name, we've got the title, we've got the picture, right? Why is the picture there? Because it's always the same picture. Why is the picture there? Would you ask yourself this question if I didn't ask you? Sorry, my friends, I'm gonna put my sheepskin on. It's getting cold. It's 18 degrees in Canberra. I'm freezing. So if I didn't ask you the question, why is the picture here? Would you ask it yourselves? Yes? No? Yeah? No? Come on, let's have fun. There is no right and wrong answer. This is thinking. This is thinking. Like, I think it's stupid to have this picture all the time. Oh, I think it's all right because it reminds me something or whatever. You know, like, this is a discussion. There's nothing right or wrong here. You may not do it this way. You may hate it this way. You know, it's just discussion. We're now analyzing someone else's website and thinking, would I do it this way? Would I have a picture? Would I have the same picture all the time? This is just like creative people having a talk about why people do things whichever way. And then we think, would I do it? Would I not do it? But for us to make decisions, how I design my website, it's good to have a discussion about it. So would you have a picture there?
Of course, I would want to have a pictures in every articles, but not the same pictures all the time. Otherwise, it's not that interesting, and it does not attract the reader to read your stories.
Right. So they don't have a picture so much about the topic, right? There is no picture. Did you notice that there's no picture about COVID and there is no picture about being selfish or whatever, right? The picture is about what? About the series, right? It's the same picture. Why did they put them there? Why did they put that picture there? The same picture, the same as here. Why did they put the same picture again?
They want
Maybe
to
they
mention for the same series.
Good point. That's one. Yes, to remind the reader. we are in that series. That's very good point. What else?
In every discussions, there are only 2 people all the time.
Yeah. So check it yourselves. I think so, but we'll click on another one. And it's again the same picture. This is a different story. And again, 2 people all the time. So let's go back to our story. So that was a good question. Is it always 2 people, right? That's a good question. That's an exploratory question. The more you can explore, the more intelligent you are or you become, right? The idea is to see more. A horse walks like this. You know what's a horse? A horse can't see things because it goes crazy. You are not a horse. You have to see a lot. So that was a good question. Is it always 2 people? Yes, we just found out. We clicked on another video, on another story, and it was again 2 people. So it's always 2 people. Any other questions? My question is, why did they have to put? So they reminded us with this picture that we are in that series. Yeah. What other reason they might have put it there for? What other reason? No idea?
I have one more. I think maybe this discussion is only at a certain time. You know, maybe it happens only in the morning, or maybe it's happened in the daytime, afternoon, when both of them finish their work.
So why do we have the same, why is this picture, this particular picture again? Why do we see Samang and Sophie? Why do we see them here again? Wherever we look, it's always them. And here, instead of creating a picture of being selfish, instead of having a different picture, they put the same picture here. But why? So we found one reason. Can we think of another reason?
I think it's their signature, it's their logo. So whenever they see it, they know that it's, yeah, Coffee Talks again.
True. So we discussed, yeah. And any other reason?
For me, I think because mostly the theme is about coffee talk. So when we put coffee talk, it's like attracts the audience. So if we put another one, mostly the audience will get confused.
Okay, so that's about the logo, which is what Navi said, right? Navi or Navy already said. So yes, so this is about the logo. This is, yeah, I think you're getting closer here, Chan. Any other person can think of, see how long it takes? It takes a long time when we read, we take a lot of things for granted, but now when we have to create ourselves, we need to know these things. We need to reflect so that our website communicates what we want, right? We don't want to create websites and stories that we are embarrassed by. We want to create a story in such a way that we are happy about, that we know that it communicates what we wanted. So we need to explore what other people do. So any other purposes, any other reasons can we come up with? Okay, I'm talking to Cambodian people who drink cold drinks. So that's a bit difficult culturally. Does anyone go for coffee? Do you ever go for coffee? Yes or no?
Most of them drink coffee, of course, but they did not say anything.
All right, so you go for coffee. Do you prefer to go for coffee by yourself, or do you prefer to go with someone else?
Go with friends.
Yeah, it's Cambodia. Cambodians die when they are alone, right? Or alone. We've got one person here who said alone. You know, that's a first Cambodian I met who said alone. All my friends who are Cambodians, they have to have 30 people with them, right? So, maybe not 30, but at least one more. All right, so you go for coffee alone or with a friend. So they put this here. So the coffee is a warm drink, right? And if you live not in Cambodia, but maybe in colder countries, a warm drink is warmth, is cozy. You know the word cozy? Cozy is warm, soft, pleasant. And you are a reader. You are invited to the coffee time. That table is not just for them to share, it's for you to participate. And do you see it? So if we look at it emotionally from the every text, I will teach you this one because it's my own research, so it will be nice for you to learn. Emotional. When people communicate, people work very hard to choose pictures or words that have appropriate emotional effect. And coffee spells warmth, but it also means come to our table and listen to us, be part of our chat, right? That's why it's a coffee table. At the coffee table, you have chat. And you as a reader, you join us at our coffee table. So it is a logo, but it is a logo. So three of you were correct. But it's specifically here in the story again to create an atmosphere of invitation. You are part of our chat. You're the third person next in our table. You know, you're with us. We're chatting with you, right? So this is not just a chat between the two. It's a chat which they are producing to integrate the reader. So the table, the chairs, the coffee is an invitation for the reader to join, right? So that's why they, in my view, right? In my view, I could be wrong, to join them. The idea is, I'm typing in the chat. The idea is emotion, yeah. The idea is join us at our coffee time, join us at our chat. And coffee is only an excuse or a tool to make it all warm and pleasant, right? Coffee, it's warm, it's pleasant. Yeah. So did we all understand it now? I mean, do you agree with me that it is like that the reason why they repeated that picture is for the reader to feel, the reader is feeling now he or she is part of that scenario, right? You are sitting with them at the coffee table. You are with them at the coffee table. So they created, it's like a decor, it's like it is, you are in their coffee shop with them. Right, that's the best way they could do it in this particular, using this technology. If you used 3D technology, you know, whatever they are called, virtual reality, you would walk into a coffee shop and sit down with them. They can't do that, but what they could do is to draw the picture again to make you feel you are with them at the table, listening to them, chatting. You're part of that conversation. I think that's why they did that. Now, we spent a long time on it, but that's good because picture is for a reason. Okay, so we've got another 40 minutes, so I will cover a lot with you, some more. So we have a series, we have a title, What else do we have? A date. It's very important to have a date. Very important to have a date. Why is it important to have a date? Any idea? Why did they insert the date?
To let us know which story is in the is recent and which story is the old one, I think.
Right. And why do we need the date also? Why do we need to know the date? To sequence things, I agree with you, to sequence, but also
to tell the audience when this story is published.
that's pretty much the same as the other person said. What other reason? They talk about it in 2021. Do you think this conversation would look the same in 2030 or 2025?
It might not.
It might not, exactly. It will be from a longer perspective, right? A lot more information will come in. So from the perspective of 2025, this conversation might look completely differently. So it's important to know the date, to know the time when they were creating those thoughts, those ideas, right? So we know, oh, back then, so someone who opens this page in 2 or 3 years' time, they'll say, oh yeah, that's what they were thinking in 2021, but now we think about it differently because we have more information. So date is important. We know the authors because they are on the picture, right? So the authors, they didn't put authors here, but we know them because they are on the picture. Oh my God, it's a lot that we have learned, right? So what we have here is 1, 2, 3 story. You know, remember how our student has 1, 2, 3? So once story 1 could be like, no, story 1, just anything, where is it, where is it, where is it? Oh my God, I always lose it. I always lose it, so I have to look for it. All right, so on the main page, you might put pictures like this, not the same pictures, but pictures indicating maybe the stories and maybe a title and the date. But once a person clicks on the story, then they might go to story 1, right? And there will be a story. Do you see what I'm saying? Whoever created this website, I can't remember your name, but on the homepage, right? On the homepage, you can have them all like here. Oh, I've lost that thing. So on the homepage, I can't find it. So on the homepage, you can have all 3 stories as a picture and as a title. And the title will have a link, and the link will take us to story 1 or story 2 or story 3. That's an idea of design. Now we know what we will have on page 1. We may change it later on, but that's a good beginning. Good beginning, right? Learning from others and then thinking, maybe we begin like this, maybe we will change it. but at this very moment, this looks like a good idea. Well, that's very interesting. So we have, and then we have this long text, which is not interview. Why do we have this long text here? So it's about being selfish in, not being selfish in hard times. And now we have a text before the interview. Why is the text here? Can everyone read it to yourselves and tell me why the text is here before? Why don't we start with an interview? Come on, friends, we want to finish this class today soon, so we need to talk.
I think they want to create, or they want to set the scene before they start the speaking.
That's it. It was easy, right? Set the scene. I will type it in chat so that everybody shares the same vocabulary. Set the scene. So provide the context, right? Context. Let's have a look how they did that. That's very interesting how they did it, right? Before they proceeded, and we will just, yeah. So let's have a look how they did that. We have Samang and Soti, or Soti, have had a difficult time managing their daily budgets. So what does it do? It focuses us on what? On the people who matter to the story, and also tells us something about these people, right? So these two people had a difficulty with their budget. It told us. So it didn't just say Samang and Soti are sitting here drinking tea or drinking coffee. They told us something about those two people. So now we can relate. Oh, okay, I understand. You know, people lost jobs, or people, whatever, for whatever reasons, we can relate to this. Sometimes we have difficulties in budgeting, right? So we can relate now. So it was a way for us to know something about the people who matter. Why do they do this over this? Why didn't they finish here? Why are they saying to us, their income has declined while their spending and debt remain the same? It seems everybody faces similar challenges, so that Soti and Samang decided not to complain. Today, the two friends discuss the help which has to be given to those who need it during this troubled time. So they have a difficulty. So we know that they have a difficulty there dealing with their budget, but we're learning some more, right? Some of you are writing research proposal, and it's very interesting because, yeah. So they have difficulties with their budget. We kind of go like everybody does, but now we're learning more. Oh my God, they have less money now. Maybe they lost business or something, right? They really got affected. It's not like they have difficulty managing budget. Whoever here is married, when you have a family, you have difficulty managing your budget. But this is worse. All of a sudden, we have what? This is not just an explanation of, telling us something about Samang and Soti. This is actually introducing what? a problem, a drama. It's a drama when your income declines. It's a drama. Not only income has declined, but also they can't make up for the loss. So what we have here, we have a text that is introducing us to the discussion that will follow. At this very moment, I'm not quite sure how to, I'll just leave it here. Okay, I'll just leave it here at this very moment. The analysis of this text, we'll come back to it several times, but not today. Let me have a look at something else with you. I've never analyzed this particular text, so we might look at it. Look at that, what I found a long time ago. Has any of you seen this text? It was all over Facebook on Cambodians' pages. But what I find interesting that it wasn't the students from that school. So who produced this article, right? It wasn't the students. It was a professional journalist. Right, so it's a professional website that Cambodian is. So when we look at it, when we read it, so we will read a little bit. It doesn't appear that it was the students who created the article. The question is why? Why can't students have their website and communicate about the interesting things they do in school? Look at that, what we're doing. Look at this, how we are learning. Look at this, we had these particular people who visited us. Look at this, how we practice Buddhism. We had an event in school, right? You could have a website communicating to the world. But what students do in schools in Cambodia, not everywhere in the world, but in Cambodia, they do interesting things, but they cannot talk about them. That's not very sophisticated. Notice Americans. Americans can talk 24 hours a day about anything, right? So they don't just do, talking about something is a skill, because you now need to look at the event from above and think what's in it to share. Maybe these two girls don't think it's worth sharing because they don't have a skill to appreciate enough what they do. They just do it because the teachers told them, or they just do it because it's part of school. But they don't have a skill of emotional appreciation enough to tell the world, look at this, our teacher showed us this. Look at this, how it is useful. They don't know it's innovative, right? They just do it. Life is boring when you cannot evaluate your own context. That's why when, what was the name of the girl, Navy? When she said, I might have an interview with people. That's wonderful. You then look at the people differently from a higher level of perspective. Oh my God, they are walking stories. And here too, my school, the ideas are walking stories, living stories. So anyway, let's have a look. Can we now analyze what we're seeing on this picture? Exactly how we were doing the analysis before. So what are we seeing here? We see what? Can we analyze it? What is here on this
title?
It is what?
The title.
the title. But what is above the title? Can you see what's written above the title, or is it too small?
It's the series.
Yes, it's a series, it's society. And it links to the menu above. Can you see it? I click on it. And it links to the menu society, and it has many stories with different pictures. Well, look at that. Now it has different pictures under the series society, right? It has society and it has different pictures. And again, the same story. You click and it will open this particular story. Well, that's interesting, right? So we have the series. It's on the menu. So you can click on the menu and it has a title. It has a picture, and the picture is about what? It's no longer a coffee table, right? Because the society page shows, why is the society page having different pictures? Come on, friends. Why is the society page having different pictures? That's easy.
I think it's reflect it reflects the story that is being told.
Yeah.
In each article.
That's it. And society means a lot, many of us, right? So every picture, the more pictures we have, the more stories we have, but it also shows how many things are happening in the society. Something about marine, something about, I don't know, the land, something about a monk, you know, so there's the spiritual, there's the earthy, there's the military, there is the health, there is, I don't know, technology or something, I don't know what it is, right? There is the government. There's so many things happening in society. So yes, each picture represents a different story, but the page is a collection of these different stories on purpose. On purpose. This page was designed on purpose this way. It could have been just the titles. Why didn't they create just the titles? It could have been story 1, story 2, story about. Why did they have to have a picture? Why not just the titles? These are the questions you will ask yourselves when you design your own website. Why not go to home and write, here you find 3 stories. Story 1, story 2, story 3, and leave us alone. Right? Boring. It's communicating nothing. So you have to think, how? What do we want to communicate through here? So I'm looking for it. Right. So, yeah. And amazingly, some school, nowhere else but in Lian, like in the middle of nowhere, made it to be part of this website. Something so special is happening in the school. Something so special. But someone went and told the story. Sadly, the kids in the school didn't tell the story themselves. How do we know it? Because there is no reference here to any website where children themselves were communicating about what they were doing. Monkey does a lot of good things. Monkeys live along us. They live, they didn't die out, they have little children, and evolution goes on. But the monkey will not have a website. A monkey will not tell you how it feels to talk to you. It will just smile, or it will steal your food. It's kind of primitive. That's what monkeys do. Monkeys do things. People think about what they do. And that's why communicating a story, creating a website, asking your students in schools to create their websites, communicating stories is important, because they have to learn what your curriculum says communication skills, but it is not communication skills. What they have to learn is to be human, not monkeys. Monkeys experience things. Oh, feels good. Oh, feels bad. Oh, feels hot. Oh, feels not cold. I'm full. I'm hungry. Right? People talk about things, think about things, evaluate things, identify something special about an event, and can share it. Well, these children didn't have that opportunity because the teacher possibly, which year was it? It was, I think, a couple of years ago. I think that started here, it says 21 January. I'm not sure when I don't know. Anyway, because, you know, the teacher didn't feel maybe or wasn't empowered to teach these skills in school. But we're learning the new way. And the new way is we're learning to communicate because we want to think about what happens around us, appreciate other people, share our appreciations of other people through interviews. Oh, look, this monk is excellent. This monk has taught me lots of things. I will interview the monk and it will go into the world. That monk is not Sadhguru that everybody knows. It's a local monk. But our monk is good. I love my monk. I want you to hear my monk. Yeah, anything. Well, so it's sharing our appreciation. So you not just experience appreciation, you become aware of your appreciation, and you understand that this monk, if interviewed, will be of value for other people to hear. Right? So this is self-awareness, awareness of others, of the monk, and awareness of other people that might like to hear something about this monk. Right? So this is, you're in the community. Local, the monk. Personal, you appreciate the monk. And broader community, I'm gonna interview this guy and I'll share that interview on my story for other people to click and see it. See, it's very simple. But that kind of abstract thinking is the new curriculum, the new ways of learning languages. Okay. So we have a series name, or the titles, the series title, Society. We've got the story, we've got the title of a story. We've got the picture of the children. We also have a title of a picture, which is interesting, right? And then we have this. For some reason, the author here, so this is not an interview like with a coffee chat. This is a story, and yet the story, so it has an author, two people, date, and it has this thing at the beginning. Let's have a look look at this. It starts here. So it does have an introduction, right? We know it's introduction because it has this Phnom Penh. It's capital letters, so we know the story starts here. So why does the story have this thing? Why put it there? Let's read it and let's decide on it, okay? Let's read it. Along with developing life skills, primary school students in Sverieng province are learning by doing at the school's farm, which experts hope will cultivate environmental education. So why did they put this thing here? What is it? What would we call this paragraph? What would we call it? What's its function?
I think it's an abstract.
Yes. Someone is writing research proposal. It's an abstract. That's it. And why do we have this abstract there?
Maybe because it's just a summary of the whole research. So when if someone wants to cite a research paper, they need just read an abstract because then it's cover everything.
Yes, and that's for research paper, right? So it's similar form or similar structure. But this is not a research paper. This is just a story for people to read about society. So why did they have to put that little summary here? This is just a regular article. Why did they feel that they need to put that summary? Can you now translate from research into this context for people to do what? To just have a quick
Maybe sometimes some reader they feel bored if there is a long reading, so maybe they just read a summary. So in order to, if it's a quick way, and it can also it's like track. Not sure. That's what I have to think.
Okay, so you're good. So what you're saying is you don't have to read the article. You can just read just a summary. But is there any other function of it? One thing is to speed up. And what's another function could be? To
Well, I think it tells us where it happened, what it happened in the story.
So that's a summary. And so the function is to help someone to speed up your understanding. But what's another function it could be? Maybe to interest the reader. Look at this. These are kids from primary school. They are little. And yet they are getting their hands dirty. They're learning through doing. They're having a school farm. That's something new, school farm. They're not sitting in the classroom reading textbooks and understanding nothing. They're actually learning through their bodies, which is what you're doing now. This particular new way of teaching English that we're using here, you're feeling it on your body as you are going through it. You're learning now by doing as well, right? So it's a sort of similar thing. So the summary is to help someone understand what's happening in the text. That's true. But another reason is to attract attention. Look at that, little kids getting hands dirty. It's an amazing thing. And it might be that someone reading this will go, oh my God, I better read more, right? What's happening here? And it could be also to attract attention. So it could be two things: to speed up, to introduce someone to what's happening in the story, but it could be also to attract attention. We have a few minutes left. I wanted to show you another article, and maybe I will find time for it or not within the next 10 minutes. But one thing, I'll show you what a student of mine created, okay? I'll just show you something. So I'll put it here. I hope like crazy you can see it. Can you see this title, Quick Food for Thought? Can you see the PowerPoint?
Oh no, we cannot.
No.
All right, so just stop sharing. And now share screen again. Can you now?
Still no, Doctor.
You can now?
Yes, can.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, let's have a look whether it will work. So the student compared how a newspaper is different from a scientific article, right? So just talking about structure, how people structure things. So look at this. Here we have a newspaper. So it has a big writing, it has a big picture of someone, and it has a short story on the side. So, but this is a scientific paper. Look what scientific paper has. It has a title. It has a subtitle. We haven't looked at scientific paper yet, but I will show you later on. It has headings, right? Newspaper doesn't have headings. Look at this. Scientific report has headings. Have you ever seen a scientific article? So it has a title, subtitle, it has sections. Each section has headings. It has shorter paragraphs, so not to make it too big, too dense. It may have a table. But let's have a look what newspaper looks like. Title. It doesn't have any subtitle. It doesn't have any headings. No separate sections. No short paragraphs with headings. It has long paragraphs. So it has basically a title, long paragraphs, no table. We don't want in the newspaper graphs and you know, calculations and all of that. None of that is in the newspaper. It has a photograph and it may have a title, caption. Caption is what is the title of the photograph. So that's very interesting, right? We just compared. I might put it now on screen 1. This I'll try to do it again because I think it didn't get recorded. So I'll just put it here. And I'll share. And I'll share screen 1. So that was a very smart way of, that was my undergraduate student, year 2. That was a year 2 student who created that. Oh, look at that. It's not really good looking in this one. It doesn't come out very well on this one. So, right. So scientific article has a title, subtitle, then it has headings for each section. Each section has short paragraphs. And scientific article will have tables, graphs, complicated data. Whereas newspaper is simple. It's for broader people. It's not for people to read it for 2 hours. It's for people to read it fast. So a big title, so that to attract attention, right? So that's why in English language, in the English language, people say breakthrough news, breakthrough, meaning like something really you need to know about. So the titles are big. There are no headings. Not, you have to you have to work very hard to identify the title of your newspaper, because you cannot have more titles there, right? You only have one shot at it, one. So you have to think really hard how to create the title for your story, because you don't have subtitle, you don't have more title. So to attract attention, you really have to think hard how to word it to attract attention so that people want to read it. It has no headings, right? There are no smaller sections. There are no short paragraphs, no titles of short paragraphs. Newspapers like the stories have long, like newspaper stories have long paragraphs. Nothing complicated. Big photograph. Here it is. Look at this. This family won taekwondo or judo competition, right? Look at these big faces. No big complicated data and a photograph. So that's newspaper for us. I recorded it now because I just was worried that we didn't record it. Okay, so I will leave you here because we finish our 2 hours. But just to make your life interesting, I'm just gonna find something. Okay, so what I wanted to do now is to signal something to you. So we've learned a lot today. We've learned a lot. And you may, on your websites, you might actually find little room where you can maybe summarize what you have learned today. I certainly will post this video onto our website. However, I want to leave you with something today. So for next week, we agreed that everybody will have finished their websites, right? For next week, everybody finishes their website. But I want to leave you with something here. We've done a lot of analysis of text. We found similarities, which was good. But look at this. This is an article produced for people like you and me, which communicates information from neuroscience, so medical information. So there is a tendency in the West for medical scientists to now communicate their findings to broader community, like you and me. Look what they did. The series is featured. It's neuroscience, and it's featured, which is like, pay attention. It has a title. I can't see the author here, so it doesn't have an author. It just says neuroscience. It has a date. It has a summary. It says where it comes from, so the information came from University of Sussex. So the interviewee is University of Sussex. They provided information. But if this is a summary, what is this? It's in bold. We have a title, we have a summary, and now we have this. So as we were learning through the article about, say, the coffee chat or about the girls, in Sverige, when they were reported about having a farm school, a school farm, sorry, we had a title and we had a summary. The summary was to summarize the paper and also maybe attract attention. So that if a title is not good enough, then the summary will help you understand the paper. But why do they have here in the science article, why do they have this thing here in bold? It says, whatever it says, you can read it for yourselves, you can think about it. I will post this link here to our chat. I'll stop sharing now. I'll post it into our chat. That's the link to our neuroscience article. And you can think about it, why they put that extra text in bold text, in bold font, before they actually went on with the story. That's interesting. So the lesson for today, if I can summarize, because we don't have time, if I was in school and I had a little bit of time, I would have asked you to summarize. I wouldn't summarize it myself. But because I don't have time anymore, I will do it myself. So we learned about how people structured websites and how people structure text. So we learned we got some ideas about how to create a homepage. I'm not sure whether we liked it, but we have some information. And we learned that from homepage, we can then jump to specific stories. We learned how people structure stories, what information they have on the story, so that the reader knows what it is about, by whom, when it was written, and all of that. So that was interesting. We also learned that other than title, there's the series, there is, what else was that? There's the summary of the abstract. And now the scientist people surprised us because they didn't just have a summary, they also had a one-liner. What was that one-liner about? Why did they insert it there? They already had the summary. So why did they feel they needed to put something more than just the summary? Something for us to think about. So I'll see you next week. Hi, Niri, I'm done for today. I suggest that we meet next week. So if you're happy with that, and we could continue with it, what do you say?
Yes, sure. Next week we should have a question from 4 groups who want to ask you anything about the website or about a story. So we will get question from 3 groups, I think, because we have around 14 groups. So next week we should have 4
Fantastic.
groups.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right, my friends. So we're moving on with our work. It's exciting. And thank you very much, Niri, for your patience. That was and for your help, always very helpful, and helping me also to understand the classroom. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So Niri, we will meet next week.
Yeah, bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Thank you for lovely discussion. Thank you so much, friends.
Thank you so much.